two, one. All right.
Hi everyone, good afternoon and welcome for another live QiGong Basics. So, as usual, you'll just need the amount of space that you need to be able to bring your arms around your body, and we'll do some gentle movement as ever. You can adapt the practice to seated, and I can give you some seated variations as we go. So, we'll start with warming up our body. We do the same warm up every week. To get our body into the routine, it'll help get the body used to the relaxation and used to the routine. So we're just going to make figure of eights with our hands, opening up the wrists and really flexing the fingers, running the wrists forward and backwards. Nice relaxed in the shoulders. And then onto the elbows. So we're just going to keeping the elbow joints together. We're just going to, and again, you can flex the fingers and circle the wrist the other way. Getting our body ready for some gentle movement. So now we'll do the shoulders. So take the backs of the hands forward and let the shoulders at the top, from the tops of the arms, bring the movement. So your hands are only following because your shoulders are moving. Your shoulders and the upper arms are rotating around. Really pronounce the movement and get your body ready. Then we'll go the opposite way, so pushing the palms backwards and then bringing the shoulders round the sides. Good. And then roll a few times backwards to reset them. Good. So we'll go on to the neck. So we'll just always be careful with your neck. You know your neck best. Always lifting the crown to add a little bit of space in the neck as you turn your head to the right, middle and left. The neck moves in 3 directions, so we can warm it up 3 ways. Always find what feels right and feels good for your body. And looking up, middle, down, middle, up, middle, down. Wonderful. So we'll make a move with our hips now. So we'll start with just opening up the waist. So just circulate and imagine your hips are fixed in concrete, everything from the hips down. And so you're moving the rib cage, keeping the crown nice and lifted, shoulders nice and relaxed. Just opening up the side body a bit. The front and the middle and the back. Next time we're going to add in the hips. So we're going to move the hips in a nice circle. And you can imagine accentuating, so pulling your ribs this way as your hips go to the right, pulling your ribs to the core. We were just trying to open that side body up a little bit more, get a bit of extra stretch. The Chinese, they say that if there's one movement you're going to do each day, it's this one. I believe energy is like spiraling through our body, our blood, our circulation, and this movement is helping to just circulate that energy all the way through the body, just get that spiral going. I've got to admit, I quite like doing this one in the mornings. Lovely. So we're going to take our legs kind of from shoulder width, just slightly wider, however's comfortable for you. Just going to do a few with your hands on your thighs. Again, just warming up the lower body. Good. So we'll bring the legs back together. We'll circle the toes and the ankles, really accentuating the toes if you can. Then shake it to the front, to the side, and to the back. I appreciate the back one might be a bit harder when you're sitting down. Circling to the front, just do the ones that work for you. Meet your body where it's at. If it needs more of a rest, especially when women are menstruating and things, it can be easier on the body to do things seated. So always adapt it to your body's needs. Right, so this one's knocking on the door of life. This one will be quite challenging if you're sitting down, but these are just to open the spine up a little bit. So turning from the hips and the waist. We'll start with just turning the upper body, turning and looking behind you. And it's that movement from the hips, from the waist, that's turning us around. And then we'll gently lift the arms, nice and relaxing the shoulders, just to complete. And we're knocking on the sides of the spine, but never on the spine itself. And we're turning and looking behind us, getting a nice twist into the spine, opening up the spine to a different direction to usual. And then bring your head just looking forward and slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. So we'll do a bit of spinal cord breathing just to open up the front and back of the spine. So bringing the arms up at shoulder level and down together at the front. So really opening that chest up, really stretching, arching the spine, arching the back. And then when we breathe out, pushing, imagine kind of if you've ever done cat-cow in yoga, it's that kind of premise where we open and we breathe in and then we exhale and breathe out. You can always breathe the opposite way if you want to get extra stretch into your back body. Breathing into the back of the spine and the back of the heart. Try and bring the elbows together in front of you when we're stretching the back body, just to accentuate that stretch. Really just open up the space in the vertebrae. This one's brilliant for bringing us from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic system, which means taking our body from flight, and stress response into calm, relaxation, digestion, resetting. The way our body can nourish and replenish itself. Okay, and the last one for our spinal opening is called picking the cherries. So if you remember, take one arm up and one arm down to shoulder level, and we just imagine we're trying to, with the arm that's reached, pulling that hip down. We're just reaching up, imagine picking cherries above our head, and just anchoring down the hip of the arm that's raised. Just again, getting a nice bit of opening into the vertebrae, keeping a nice lift in the crown, gentle stance in the body or seated. Good. Wonderful. So we'll just do our silk breathing now. We'll be ready to start our other exercises. So this one, imagine you're taking your chest forward and then imagine a wave rippling right the way up from your legs all the way up. So we take our chest forward, and as we're coming up, the hips come forward, chest goes back. Then as chest goes forward, hips go back. And it's almost like a wave. It's just rippling up through the body. So hips forward, chest back, forward. So we're doing the opposite with our hips and our chest. Again, just to gently open the body, get some movement right the way from the tips of our toes all the way to the crown of our head. And then slowing it down. And we'll stretch into our shoulders now. So this one's brilliant if you're working on computers and laptops. We're going to take our palms facing forward. We're going to circle around. This one's a new one this week. Circle around, pushing back, and imagine your fingertips really reaching down to the floor, lifting in the crown. And again, this one is brilliant just for stretching from the lines of tension down the sides of the neck. And as we reach around, we take the hips back a bit, and then we stand up. Really push them arms down. And then we can take the neck to the side. Again, be careful lifting in the crown to keep some nice spaciousness between the vertebrae, protecting the neck. Imagine a line of opposition, a duo line between the base of the spine and the top of the head, just to keep a lift, balance out the stretch and the flexibility. Keep the joints nice and protected in the spine. And then when you're ready to drop to the other side, drop your chin down if that's comfortable. Really keeping them shoulders relaxed, fingertips reaching down. Feeling all tension dissolving all the way down this part of the arm, shoulder, and neck. Another nice one to do at the end of the day. Okay, so we'll now go on to our chest opening. In fact, we'll still scatter some chi. We're still in January, so we'll just release a little bit more stagnant air, if there's anything left in our bodies, before we go into the practice. So we'll take our arms up to the sides and taking one arm to the front and one arm to the back. So imagine turning from the waist and the hips, one arm to the front and one arm to the back. Now we'll make that a little bit quicker. Like bend and lift in the knees as we're turning. So we lift in the middle. And finally, just add an audible sigh out when we go into the side. Any tension. And then we no longer need, just letting it go, whether it's thoughts, emotions. Ready to let in that new year energy, carry us through into the new year, spacious, open. And slowing it down. Just noticing how your body feels. Good. So let's shake the tree. If you remember this one, we just start with a gentle flick of the wrist, flick of the arms and the shoulders. Nice audible sigh and exhale. And then we're just going to bounce on the toes. Bounce on the heel of the foot even. So feeling the ball of the foot still on the floor. It's just the heels gently bouncing. The more you can relax into this, the easier it is and the longer you can sustain it. You imagine like rocking a baby when babies are agitated for any reason. We rock them, we bounce them. It helps release any tension. Creates a nice soothing effect, a release through our body. Really flicking them wrists. Humility of Qigong. Learn and take things as they come. Really flicking. And as you slow that one down, just notice how your body is feeling. Notice any tingling in your body. Notice how it feels. I've got some tingling going through my body. I feel quite spacious. I feel I can breathe a bit more freely. Okay, so starting in Wujin, we're going to build it slightly longer this week. So we'll get progressively longer each week. And this just helps us to build into our foundation, helps us to build a bit of energy before we start our practice. So starting with the palms parallel to the earth, slightly outstretched, but not uncomfortably so. Hips shoulder width apart. Like dip of the tailbone, lift of the crown, like bend in the knees. Just really breathing into all four sides of the torso. Feeling nice and grounded. Feeling the strength of your legs. If you're seated, just feeling the connection with your legs, the ground beneath you. Just focusing the breath into the abdomen, into all four sides of the torso. Just noticing where in your body your breath reaches down to. Maintaining the lift in the crown. And try zipping up, so it's like tuck in the front of your body, really feeling your body centered like a tree. Feeling the sturdiness of your foundation. Staying active in the hands, maybe stretching the palms out a little bit, the fingers out a little bit, just creating a little bit of space in the body. All the time noticing your breath. Maintaining that lift, feeling that spaciousness still through the spine. You can stop at any time feels uncomfortable for your body. Always honor your body. We're just going to try and build it slowly and progressively, 10 seconds or so at a time each week, just to help lengthen the amount of time we can stay in our foundation. Okay, and this is going to help us hopefully feel slightly different as we go through the flow exercises we're starting now. So we will start with our usual compressing the pearl, bringing the hands to hug the pelvis. And we're going to breathe in like a bellows and out. Palms still nice and stretched, fingers slightly wide. Like pumping a bellows, imagine gathering loads of air and bringing it all together at a center. Slightly lifting in the legs as the arms go up, gentle bend in the knees as they come down. You can imagine like two magnets coming together here, feeling a little bit of a pulse, perhaps between the hands. Just to bring extra awareness to the hands and the movement. Breathing in to go up. Lovely, and then bring your hands again just to gently relax at your sides and notice how you feel. And have a gentle shake if you need to before we go on to the next one. The longer you can hold postures, the more we can just flow one to the next. So this next one's called flying hands. Hands come up to the chest. They widen to shoulder width. Palms turn to face parallel and down. So again, we almost like drawing a line up the sternum, narrow as we come up, and then they widen to shoulder width. Palms turn. Breathing in to come up. Slight retention. And then once we've turned, then we breathe out. Breathing in. And notice how it's the wrists that turn the movement rather than the hands. So bring the hands to parallel. Feeling a slight rising. Really filling the lungs. Gentle exhale. One more. Bring the hands down and noticing how you feel. Before we go on to opening the chest. So palms facing the floor. And this time, palms come up to the sides to face upwards and back down to face the floor. Trying to kind of go to the edge of your comfort in terms of your breath, just to slightly increase the capacity of the lungs, to increase the relaxation through the body. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. This will be the last time. Bringing the arms to the sides and noticing how you feel. Before we go on to swimming dragon, taking them arms out again. And remembering that we said like an elevator, like two lifts. One arm goes up, one arm goes down, keeping the palms facing parallel with the ceiling and floor. And then the middle finger turns like a key in a lock. I'm just going to let them lift gently past each other. Nice and narrow. So we're keeping it within our shoulders, within our core. Arms outstretched but not uncomfortably so. And this one's just going to help bring a nice bit of extra stretch into the spine. Remember to turn around that middle finger like a key in a lock. Needs to be a certain position to get that key to go in and turn. And this next time we'll add the breath. So breathe in and out to push. Turn, breathe in. When the hands meet, we start to breathe out to push. Always working with your own breath. Breathing out to push. And breathing in to bring the hands together. One more time to each side. This will be the last time. And the palms come together again. Just bring your arms to gently rest at your sides and notice how you feel. Nice deep belly breath before we go on to our final flow, which is bear goes swimming. So we're going to almost like creating a diamond at our front, opening up that chest, bringing the arms around, sweeping behind us. And it's almost like imagine holding a tray and you're trying to keep that tray upright until you've come through. So we've got the diamond, breathing in, slight lift in the legs and the upper body. Then we bring the arms round. A bit like breaststroke. When again the hips go slightly back as the arms go forward. And breathe in. With your own breath. Breathing out to release. Breathing in to welcome in the new. Last one. And just bring it into the chest 3 times. So breathing that into the heart and then taking the arms back down to the sides, backs of the hands come together and then in. The palms are facing up when they reach our chest, and then the backs of the arms come together. Imagine breathing all that newness into the heart. Arms to the sides. And we'll draw down the heavens. So as usual, arms up to the sides, up above, and imagining that purple light washing through your whole body. Following your breath. It's like lifting the legs as we gather. And then imagining all that sinking. As a purple light scans through your whole body. The lungs, the heart, the abdomen, the legs. Like a shower of purple light washing through your mind, washing through your emotions. And we're just going to do 3 more, and you can imagine these times filling up with whatever quality of energy you most need at this time, whether it's calm, peace, love, maybe relaxation, confidence. In this final time, as it washes through the mind, the body, bring our thumb and our forefingers together, I'm going to bring the feet together. Just bring one foot to the other. And we're just going to stand, lifting the crown and gently rock and sway. This one's called Bamboo in the Wind. So we're just going to let the body settle all that in now, integrate the practice. As we return to noticing our breath. Noticing how your body feels compared to when we started. Maintaining a lift in the crown, slight tuck of the chin, nice straight spine. Imagining a marionette string holding you upright so your body is standing effortlessly. As you feel calm and relaxed from the top of your head, the crown, the eyes, the jaw, down the back of the neck, the shoulders, the upper arms, down the elbows, all the way to the fingertips. And down your vertebrae, every vertebrae, your chest and ribs, down your abdomen, your heart, your stomach, all of your organs calm and relaxed, down the backs of your legs and the fronts of your legs, the knees, the shins, down the calves, to the ankles and to the tips of the toes, your whole body standing effortlessly. Bringing the awareness back to the breath as we breathe with a focus on our abdomen, our torso. Almost concentrating that breath where our hands are. Just bringing us to anchor in our core and center. Once you feel a sense of settledness and you're ready, and your feet back to shoulder width, we're just going to gently circle up the right hand side, across the middle and down the left hand side. Imagine like circulating around the intestines, centering that, sending that love around to our abdomen, giving it the permission to rest, to digest. Something today's modern and stressful world can sometimes affect and disrupt. Just giving our body just this minute. We'll bring that circle smaller and smaller. And then we're going to take one final deep breath into the abdomen and release with an audible sigh. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining us. And just notice how you feel. If you found this helpful, you're welcome to like and subscribe to our channel so we can share this love and this practice and this peace, whatever benefits it served for you, with other people too. Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon.